everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Michael Yoo. I'm a first year dental student at Western University in Pomona, California. And I wanted to say, sorry, I haven't really uploaded in a while. It was finals week and the exams kind of got away from me. So I was spending a lot of time at the library trying to ace all those exams. But finals week is kind of on the downhill now. We have a practical coming up on Friday. And so I was thinking, while I am practicing my prep and restorations, I can do this quick video to answer some questions I got through my Gmail account. I've been getting a lot of questions about getting into dental school. So on that note, I wanted to congratulate everybody that got into dental school this cycle. You overcame a large obstacle in becoming a dentist, which is going into dental school. So, back to the questions though. I've written 5 of them down here that I thought might be pertinent to a lot of dental students, pre-dental students. First one here is no response, rejection, equal to a rejection. So the simple answer is no. If you didn't get a response from anywhere, that is not equal to a rejection. That simply means dental schools are still looking at your application, and in no way should you lose any hope of getting into dental school. If anything, it just means that your application might have came in a different or later in the cycle, and they just need to take a little bit more time to look at it. So, simple answer: do not lose hope, all because you didn't receive a response on December 3rd. I received my response into dental school in February of last year, and I interviewed in February as well. But I was actually speaking to one of my colleagues here, one of my classmates. She said she had an interview in October, and didn't really hear back until February. So sometimes it can take a while, and you shouldn't necessarily lose hope, all because you didn't hear back. If anything, they're going to take a little longer at looking at it, but hopefully in the end everything works out to your best interest. Moving on from there, second question: should I call to check on my status? So should I call dental schools to check on the status of my application? So this answer to this question is yes and no. Yes, you should call dental schools if you haven't heard back, not about getting into dental school, but if you haven't heard back, or you haven't received one of those emails that says all of your application material is now received and being overlooked by the admissions committee, that's probably the only time you want to check with the admissions office. Admissions offices are inundated with a lot of different phone calls this time of year, especially because interviews are still going on. So there are a lot of students in that end that are calling, and then also a lot of students that are calling simply just to check the status of their application. And usually those phone calls last about maybe a minute, if anything. And in the end, you're really in the same place, and all they can tell you is, no, the admissions committee hasn't reached a decision on your application yet. While I was doing this, I just thought of another reason you probably should call dental schools is to update them on any progress that you've had. Say that you went on a mission trip and you wanted dental schools to know about your recent experience. You could probably call them and ask them if you can write write something a little extra and submit that so that can be included into your application. Or you can just simply tell them, and then they'll put a note in your application. Another reason you might call them is to send in your scientific research paper that you might have just recently published. I know I did this with WesternU. I ended up publishing. You can go read it on PubMed. And so those are probably the only 3 times that I can think of to call a dental school. Other than that, really shouldn't. There's really nothing that you can probably find out from calling them. Third question: what was your GPA DAT volunteer hours? I was actually talking to a dental another dental student about this and how they would answer this, and if they would even mind sharing their DAT scores. And she and I, actually all four of us that were in that conversation, came to the same conclusion. We wouldn't mind sharing our dental school our scores, but at the same time there may not be any utility in that. So I'm gonna address this question in a different video, but in the end, all you need is kind of a competitive DAT score, which is around the 20s, and a GPA above a 3.0 to be even considered by a dental school. And from there, they're going to look at your personal statement, your letter of recommendations, and all your other extracurricular activities to determine if they want to bring you in for an interview or not. Before that, however, if you don't have any of that, you may not get an interview. But if you want some advice on this, feel free to email me and I'll give you my honest opinion. I'll tell you if you should work on a certain area of your application or not. Yeah. So, fourth question. I haven't gotten an interview yet. Should I be worried? No, you shouldn't be worried about not getting an interview yet. Like I said, I got my interview in February, so way past the December 3rd decision date. I know plenty of people that got in February and that are here with me in my class now. So keep your hope alive. We're still really early on in the application cycle. If anything, we still have 4 more months left. Is that right? December, January, February, March? Yeah, 4 more months left. And there's a lot of time for things to change and seats to open up as students decide they want to go to a different school or want to come here. Last and final question, what should I do in the meantime if I didn't hear back? To answer this question, keep doing what you've been doing, especially if you got an interview already, because obviously what you have been doing worked and the schools liked what they saw, and all because you got an interview, it doesn't necessarily mean you should stop doing those extracurriculars. If anything, you should continue those so that, God forbid, you don't get in this year and you have that much more experience to enhance your application for next year. Other than that, other things I can think of are mission trips, getting jobs at unique places like a specialty clinic or even at a school of dentistry. There are going to be spots opening up as students, as mentioned earlier, students decide to go somewhere else for their dental school, and there are going to be other interviews coming up, I'm sure. I know we have a few more coming up in the coming year, and eventually, it's not a matter of if you get in, it's a matter of when you get in. So, keep the hope alive, keep doing what you're doing, simply keep being you. I'll try to post again before Christmas. We're done with finals here on December 19th, so hopefully that's when we'll see each other again. Thank you so much.